Good good evening. Good evening everybody. We are back, we are live.
Falls apart. Your job disappears, loved ones walk away, the money you save suddenly becomes worthless. How would you respond? Would you panic, break down, spiral into crisis? Or would you stay grounded, eyes steady on the wreckage, without trembling? The difference doesn't lie in what you own, it lies in your mind.
Hello, hi associate. Yes. Transformation series. Shubham, hi. Hi, मैं बहुत ज़्यादा परेशान हो गया हूँ. क्या हो गया वरदान? What happened? Wow, I can't.
A mind that has been trained.
Hi Dharm, good evening. How are you? I'm good.
Not when everything was smooth, but in the darkest of times. People often prepare for success, very few prepare for loss. And so, when disaster strikes,
मैं जो इतने दिनों से असाइनमेंट बना रहा था फर्स्ट वाला, वो पता नहीं है सामने से पूरी वर्ड फाइल डिलीट हो गई. वापस बनाना पड़ेगा अभी आपको. Sorry. You came live after so many days or what? No, I come live every day. 11 a.m. in the morning and 4 p.m. in the evening.
they don't break because of what was taken from them, but because their inner foundation was too fragile. Don't wait for the storm to learn how to stand firm. Don't let your mind be the last weak point when everything else has been swept away. There was once a woman who lived in a peaceful valley, in a small wooden house she had built with her own hands. She grew vegetables, raised chickens, welcomed tourists.
King of Hearts. Yes. Shubham, okay. Dharm, yes, it's you.
With warm baked goods and a gentle smile, she called that place peace. But then one winter day, a storm came. It didn't just rip off her roof, wash away her garden and the only road leading to her home, but dragged along.
पूरी दुनिया की नस फटने वाली फीलिंग हो रही है यार. मैं कैसे सिलेबस करूँगा? मैं सोचा कि आज न्यू टॉपिक शुरू करूँगा पढ़ने के लिए. सही में रोना आ रहा है. आई नो इट्स वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट वरदान, बट अभी कंप्लीट तो करना ही पड़ेगा ना. व्हाट हैपेंड, वी हैव टू डील विद दिस ना. तो अभी प्लीज़ स्टार्ट द असाइनमेंट अगेन. वापस से शुरू करो जल्दी जल्दी उसको. आप एक बार आपने किया है तो आपको पता है कि कैसे उसको करना है, तो वापस से उसको स्टार्ट करो, वापस से करो. आई एम सॉरी इट्स डिफ़िकल्ट फॉर यू, बट एक बार किया है तो वापस भी कर लोगे. व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट टुडे? आज मैंने सुबह धर्म वी टॉक्ड अबाउट सेल्फ क्रिटिसिज्म इन द मॉर्निंग, and we had a very healthy discussion on that. Evenings are more Q&A sessions where people just ask questions and I answer them. आपका लुक हर दिन अलग कैसे दिखता है? पता नहीं यार, कुछ अजीब ही है मेरा लुक. Backlog of 70 lectures. Okay. सही में मेरे ऊपर एकदम अनएक्सपेक्टेड मुसीबतें आती है लाइफ में. मजाक बना के रखा है. आई एम सॉरी वरदान, इट्स जस्ट बहुत ही इरिटेटिंग चीज़ तो है ये. बात तो सही है आपकी.
With it, a string of suffocating gray days. Guests canceled bookings. Insurance refused to pay. Her old loyal dog the only companion, quietly passed away. She went from a woman living among breathtaking sunrises to a lone figure in the cold darkness, sleeping on a foldable chair,
गवर्नमेंट
hands
जॉब
full
ना
of
लगे
clay
तो क्या करे?
forms, ears ringing with
प्राइवेट जॉब
rejection,
ढूंढो.
heart empty. What nearly broke her wasn't the lost roof, the vanished money, or even the solitude. It was the feeling that her life had lost all meaning. She had poured her soul into a dream, and now that dream was
Oh, I
reduced
missed it. My
to
boss must
ashes.
have attended that
When you
session
lose
long
your
time ago.
spiritual
He
anchor,
criticizes
when
me
you
a
no longer
lot.
feel like you matter, there's nothing left to hold you up.
Let him criticize you. You know your worth. मैं जाता हूँ assignment करने. Yes, please. Yes, do it. It's a difficult time हो जाता है लोगों के साथ, so I feel so bad. LNQHTH said hi. अलग अलग इंटरेस्टिंग यूजर नेम होते हैं सबके. I am going on a wrong track. Okay, tell me about it. क्या है wrong track आपका? How's the weather in Mumbai? It was raining some time back, but right now it's very hot. It's horrible. It's actually horrible in Mumbai. How's the weather where you are? Yeah, it's very humid. Absolutely humid. Hi Aman, how are you? It's a Q&A session, guys. You can ask me questions. We can ask each other questions. That's what we do. लोग इसे इंटरेस्टिंग यूज़र नेम रखते हैं ना कि उस यूज़र नेम प्रोनाउंस करने से पहले 2 बार सोचना पड़ता है.
But then, on a freezing night, she found an old notebook buried deep at the bottom of a chest.
Not very far
where her
from there.
father's
Very
letters
humid
were
out
once
here
stored.
as well.
On the first page, written in firm
It
pencil
is.
strokes, was a quote from Epictetus. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Peace begins the moment you stop fighting what you cannot control. Sometimes a single sentence is enough to change the entire direction of a life. She sat up, not because things got better, but because she began to discern what was worth holding on to and what needed to be released. She wrote down 3 things she could still control: her attitude, her body, and her actions. The next day, she put on her shoes, picked up a hammer,
Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have an almost...
Hi, code setup. Dharm, I am listening to this podcast. It's not a podcast actually, it's a psychological breakdown of one of the theories of Carl Jung. It's called availability unavailability की theory है. Shubham, yes, I know you're not a spammer. Associate. It's some YouTube channel called Syphoria. If it were your last moment on the planet, what would be your last words to the world? Well, I think signing off. That was me. That was my time. See you all if you give me a next chance. That's probably what I'll say. I don't know what will I say यार. इतना तो नहीं सोचा है मैंने कि अगर मेरा लास्ट मिनट होगा तो मैं क्या बोलूँगी.
The natural control over the environment around them without saying a word. They don't shout. They don't beg. They simply withdraw, and suddenly everything changes. The energy shifts. People start to question, to chase after, to feel. Now, imagine if you did the same. If you stopped reacting immediately to everything, if you chose silence instead of the automatic response, retreat instead of explosion, what do you think would happen? That's where the point lies.
Understand the cause, Sigma.
When you stop being always available, emotionally, physically, psychologically, the world around you goes into crisis. Because people are used to controlling you
What's
through
happening
your
in life? Any new venture or topics that you are learning nowadays? I am trying to build my YouTube. That's one thing that I'm aggressively doing. I am learning, yeah, every day I keep learning something. Yesterday, I talked about this whole thing where uh, at the difference between a thought and thinking. And a lot of people had opinions ki thought kya hota hai, thinking kya hota hai, is it the same thing, is it different? So yeah, I keep educating myself with different things, and then I try to bring it to the stream and then ask people and discuss it with them. So yeah, that's what's happening. You tell me what's up, what's happening.
emotions, through your impulses, through your predictability. But the day you choose to withdraw, the game changes. And those who thought they knew you realize they know absolutely nothing about you. Carl Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves. Now think about this. When you become inaccessible, who really gets desperate? Who gets irritated? Who tries to provoke you just to elicit some emotion back? This reveals more about the other than about you. And it mainly reveals how much you are still being manipulated without realizing it. You keep giving yourself to please, to maintain peace, to not lose people who deep down were never really with you. And with every forced yes, every immediate response, every emotional reaction, you give away a piece of your energy. And at the end of the day, what's left? Tiredness, frustration, an emptiness you can't explain, but I'll tell you why. Because you are too available for those who don't deserve even a minute of your silence. This video is not about turning your back on the world. It's about choosing yourself. It's about learning what Jung called individuation, the process of becoming whole, authentic, complete. And this process begins when you understand that silence can be stronger than 1,000 arguments. That withdrawal,
Bureaunomics.
when it comes from awareness and not from escape, is an act of power. So I ask you now, looking into your eyes, how long will you continue to be controlled by the emotions of others? How long will you react like a puppet every time someone pokes your wound? Maybe it's time to cut those strings, to withdraw, to become a mystery, because when you stop being available, everything changes.
How was Ladakh? Ladakh was something else. It was just मतलब कि आप हम लोग ऐसा रहते हैं ना अराउंड अस, एंड देन अपनी ये रश की लाइफ देखते हैं, सब कुछ जो चल रहा है वो सब चीज़ें देखते रहते हैं. एंड देन व्हेन यू गो टू दीज प्लेसेस एंड यू सी दैट it is so different for the people there, and even when they live in the most beautiful places, the mountains, the snow, the everything, it's which is liberating for so many of us. It's just so difficult for them कि आप अपने आप थोड़ा grateful हो जाते हो life के लिए कि we are in such a easy, relaxed place. Depression issue. Kushu, what happened? Why are you struggling? Hi, Miss Tulika. I filed police complaint. Now I'm relaxed. Thanks to you, dear. I'm glad. Not happening much, to be honest. Only eat, sleep, work, some meditation, some domain level upskilling. That's it. You're doing a lot. Associate what's happening with you. How's your day going?
I've been taught to always be present, to respond quickly, to please, to say yes even when you wanted to say no. Since childhood, you have been conditioned to believe that your worth lies in how available you are to others. But here's a truth that perhaps no one has told you with this clarity. This excessive availability is not a virtue. It is a prison. And as long as you continue to think that you need to be accessible all the time, emotionally or otherwise, you will be manipulated, drained, and forgotten as soon as you are no longer useful. Do you know why? Because being always available makes you seem predictable. And everything that is predictable becomes a tool. People start to use you as an emotional emergency button. They press it when they want attention, relief, validation, and then put you.
Monsoon feels very lethargic and draining, but don't know why. But a sunny day is 1,000 times better. Wow. Yeah, I mean, sun gives you energy and all of that, but sometimes when you look at the rain, it makes you feel nice. I know it is difficult to travel in the rain, but just looking at it and the weather, how it changes and it becomes a little cooler and all of that, it's nice. Aj, there are
On the
less
shelf.
people here.
But you don't realize this because you are trapped in an illusion that being present for everyone will make someone be present for you. But it doesn't work that way. Carl Jung spoke about the persona, this mask we wear to be accepted, loved, recognized, and it is exactly this mask that keeps you overly available. You say, it's okay, when you are suffocating. You respond to messages immediately, even when you are exhausted. You explain yourself, justify yourself, defend yourself, as if you owed something to the world. But the truth is that the more you place yourself at the center of others' stage, the more you disappear from your own. Being available all the time is a subtle form of self-abandonment. It is a disguised way of seeking approval, avoiding rejection, trying to control the image others have of you. But this control comes at a price, and the price is your peace. It is your vital energy being distributed as if it were infinite, when in fact it is limited, very limited. People who want you available all the time, in fact, do not want you. They want what you
Some
provide.
chats are funnier than Priya
Company,
Darshan's movie.
distraction, emotional
Yeah,
comfort.
it's
But when
just
you change,
a wild
when you
place
set a boundary,
sometimes.
when you refuse to
गोविंद,
react,
मैं मुंबई में
those
रहती हूँ.
same people get irritated, accuse you, say you are weird. It's not because you changed. It's because you stopped being functional for them. And here's the cruelest point. The more available you are, the less value others give you. Because what is too abundant becomes emotional rag. No one respects what they don't have to earn. No one values what is always there. So now, stop and think. Who truly deserves your time? Who deserves your attention, your presence, your listening? Or better yet, who deserves your absence? But before answering that, we need to understand one essential thing. Why do we react so much? Why do we give in so easily? What is behind this almost automatic desire to respond, justify, and
Shubham
please?
ji, yes, I'm
The
aware.
answer lies in what Carl Jung called psychic energy. And that is what we will talk about in the next part. Because your energy is all you have. And if you don't learn to protect it, someone will use it against you. If this content is making sense to you, click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support. Carl Jung did not see the human psyche as an automatic machine that reacts to stimuli without consequences. For him, our mind is like an energy system, and every thought, emotion, and action consumes a part of that energy. The question is, are you choosing where your energy goes, or are you letting the world
India
decide for
e-sport
you?
player. Hi.
Every time you react impulsively,
Shubham,
you are wasting
I'm
psychic
watching
energy.
this
When you defend yourself
stream.
against a
I'm watching
criticism
this
that didn't
video
even
about
deserve
Carl
attention,
Jung's
when you
psychology.
respond to a provocation just to prove you are right, when you engage in useless discussions, when you try to please those who do not value you, you are spending your inner strength on what does And Jung was clear.
Bonjour,
That
ma
which you
chérie.
resist,
I love this song, Sherry Sherry Lady. I think that's the song, no? Sherry Sherry. Yeah, Sherry Sherry Lady.
the more you react.
Reading about Schrodinger nowadays, he was very effortlessly mixed science and human psychology. Book Schrodinger's life. Wow. Nice. Good that you were able to make that decision. La Vie or Rose. That's a different song, but Sherry Sherry Lady is also one of the songs. इंडिया शेयर मार्केट क्या चल रहा है शेयर मार्केट हेलो
The more you bind yourself. People who live emotionally drained are not weak. They are misdirected. And do you know what happens to someone who lives exhausted? They become vulnerable. And when you are vulnerable, you become easy prey.
what's going on here we are just it's a Q&A session Arrow I don't know how to pronounce your name though Arrow um, and yeah and I'm watching this video about Carl Jung's psychology of about availability. That's all we are doing. Iki Gupta, hi. Seridro, hi.
Manipulative, opportunistic, and emotionally needy people can sense this. They notice that you do not know how to guard your energy, that you react to everything, that you're always trying to solve the world, and they take advantage of it. Jung said that a healthy psyche is one that knows how to keep energy within the system.
Sound like Arrow. Okay. Market का हाल बेहाल है.
Knowing how to say no
बेहाल
without
तो है.
guilt, knowing how to remain silent without feeling cowardly, knowing how to observe before.
Can you give me a small summary for this availability and unavailability if it's feasible? Absolutely. So what he's saying is कि if you make yourself too available to people around you, sometimes with excess availability comes exhaustion, and when you are exhausted you are vulnerable, and that is the time when people can use your energy in a negative way, and that is why you need to be selectively available for people no matter who. And once you are unavailable, once you have protected your peace, once you have protected your energy, you become unpredictable, and then you don't give people as much power to use you as a tool. Name a car for edit. What edit? Hi Krishna. Hello. How are you? That is surprisingly relatable to me. Relatable to everybody. That's what we do here. King of Hearts. Hi. India share market. Thank you.
Because true power is not in reacting. It is in choosing when and how to act. And this is only possible when you know yourself well enough to recognize your own impulses.
Thanks for the summary.
How many
Welcome.
times have you
King of
lost
Hearts,
sleep
I'm
over
good.
an
Aap kaise ho?
unresolved conversation? How many times have you spent hours ruminating on what you should have said, or trying to understand why someone treated you poorly? This is energy being drained without return. You are keeping alive ghosts that should have died long ago, and feeding dynamics that only exist because you insist on responding. Psychic energy is like a force field. When well guarded, it
Moria PB, just name a car. I don't know. Fortuner? You're not looking good. Okay. See you next time. Have a great day, Arrow. Thanks for joining the stream for the little time that you did. See you again.
presence. You enter a room and command respect without saying a word. But when poorly managed, you become invisible, reactive,
What's my biggest achievement? पता नहीं, it keeps changing with time. I feel like sometimes I do something and then I feel like it's a very, it's one of my biggest achievement, but then again something happens and then that becomes my biggest achievement. So I don't think I have it yet.
and the world has no mercy for those who give in easily. Therefore, start observing your own triggers. What makes you react automatically? What makes you lose your center? These are the exact points where your energy escapes, and that is where you need to work. Not to become cold.
You follow any sports or anything related to sports? Not much, but a little bit here and there. Tulka hate when people say bad about you, such a sweetheart. Thank you. अभी क्या कर सकते हैं? If I'm streaming on a public platform, I will get all sorts of comments. So to take it like that.
Or indifferent, but to be selective, to be sovereign over yourself. And here comes one of Jung's greatest revelations. When you conserve your energy, you break the projections that others place upon you. And that bothers a lot. Because now we are entering a dark territory, that of silent manipulation.
You reply to everyone with respect, but still people don't understand it. हाँ मतलब people come from different sorts of background and places ना, तो it's fine. But thanks for supporting King of Hearts. And I just blocked someone because, like I said, people, this place is not for vulgarity and sexual comments. Please don't do that. I will not entertain any sexual or vulgar comments.
In the next part, we will explore how opportunistic people feed off your energy and why your unavailability completely disarms these games.
I live in Mumbai,
Get ready
Chana
to look
Baswa.
into the eyes of those who have always drained you
Which
without
lipstick
you
shade?
realizing it.
It's some berry
You
shade.
think you are in
I'm not sure. I think it's Maybelline.
You believe your reactions are conscious choices, but the truth is darker. Most of your emotional responses are programmed, and those who understand this manipulate you easily. Opportunistic people don't need to raise their voices, threaten, or force situations. They just
King of Hearts, you are such a nice person. Super glad to have people like you. Big brand, big people. Okay. You're very charming. Thank you. आज तो एनर्जी थोड़ी डाउन है मेरी. Usually I'm more enthusiastic on streams, but I don't know, it was just a little exhausting today. Hi Shinchan. Shinchan, we want to know your real name. ये जो personality आपने बना के रखी है इंटरनेट पे, we want to know who's the real person behind that.
and you react always. Carl Jung called this projection.
I believe only one thing: if you can't do good, at least don't say bad about someone. I 1000% agree with you. It's disgusting, and on the other side, really worrisome. People don't have any sort of public knowledge how to talk to someone. Yeah. Especially when, there is like all these sexual comments and these comments about, you know what I mean. It's just so sad because we are trying to become this country where we feel a little more safe, and we are trying to protect. We keep talking about these things that we are trying to protect our men, we are trying to protect our women, but then on these public platform there are people who come and say such things. So it's kind of It's kind of sad. Are you trying to explore about people in your stream? हाँ, I think यही कर रही हूँ मैं. मेरा रियल नाम जानना है. हाँ. अरे बाप रे, शिनचैन का रियल नेम भुल्ला है, ये मेरा दोस्त है. I am Nana Hahi. Okay. Girls are simple, how you treat them, they will like you. Same, that's minimum common sense every man should understand. Every man should be like you.
The logical mechanism through which people project onto others what they cannot see in themselves. But there is
I am
another
lying.
side to this phenomenon that few notice.
Okay, lying about what?
While others project onto you, you also become the receptacle for these images. And the more emotionally available you are, the more you become a blank canvas for these projections. You know that friend who only reaches out when they are in crisis. That partner who always needs you to save the day. That person who praises you, but only as long as you are useful to them. None of this is by chance. They are not relating to you. They are relating to the idea of you, to the role you agree to play. And why do you agree? Because you are afraid of disappointing, afraid of not being loved, afraid of being abandoned. The most effective manipulation doesn't happen in shouting. It happens in the silence of guilt. When you feel that you owe something to the other, when you believe you need to be available, need to help, need to understand, even when it destroys you inside. And here is the central point. The manipulator doesn't need to control you. They just...
You see wildlife? No. Like for life done. Thanks, Ryan. How's your health? All good? Yes. Slightly exhausted today. What are you watching, dude? I'm watching this whole video about Carl Jung's philosophy. My name is Shubham Kumar Singh. Okay. So sorry for late joining in. Gussa na karo, please. Yeah. Don't worry. Bro, you're too much into psychology. I am. I'm like, I can get really crazy about it. Gleishon D'Souza. Like your name though. Very nice, very interesting name.
need you to keep reacting the same way. But when you stop reacting, the game breaks. When you start saying no, responding with silence, withdrawing instead of explaining yourself, the projections begin to crumble. The mask they put on you falls. And this leaves people unsettled because they no longer know who you are. And worse, now they are forced to look at themselves. And not everyone is prepared
Love dogs.
for that.
And आपका profile picture भी काफी cute है.
It forces others to confront their own emptiness. The silence you offer reveals the internal noise they don't want to hear. And then comes the attack, the criticism, the emotional drama. Not because you are wrong, but because you stopped serving as a convenient mirror. Jung said, "We do not become enlightened by imagining."
नहीं कर लो गुस्सा, मैं तो याद दिला रहा हूँ. सोनी कुड़ी दे नखरे भी लकी हों दे सोनी. हाय अंकित, मुझे शिनचैन जैसा पर्सनालिटी अच्छा लगता है, इसलिए ये नाम रखा सोशल मीडिया पे. वेरी नाइस. Hello enchanting dear, you are interesting, you're literally sparking in my eyes. Wow. Honey, can you lend me some money to do the base? Divine Semester, how do you always have such things coming up?
When you withdraw, when you stop feeding the cycle, the others
Brother from the US is very special, very cute.
This is unbearable for those who have always used you as an escape. But what about you?
How's your day so far? My day has been slightly exhausting today, but we still showed up. रील पे आ गए, फिर देखा क्यूटी तो लाइव है. What am I doing now? आज भी नहीं बोल पाए, कुछ अकेला फील होता है क्लास में. Why don't you text someone, हिमांशु? अपने क्लास में किसी फ्रेंड को टेक्स्ट करो और उससे आज टेक्स्ट पे बात करने का ट्राई करो. Because I'm disturbed people are full of creativity. Sure. Trash advice you gave to Himanshu. ऋषभ, आपको तो कॉन्टेक्स्ट भी नहीं पता है पूरा. How are you commenting on that? Himanshu, like I said, please text one of your friends and start building a connection online. Means full hard work for success. So sweet, so sweet of. I'm a student, have passed class 12 this year. Okay, that's good. Sometimes I feel a day with exhausted type of nature doing multiple things is far, far greater and better than a day where you just do nothing, is what I feel. I also thought of the same thing, that's why I just showed up. Channa Baswa says crazy. Okay. Your words are really good. You're a stress buster for a man like us. We don't share our feelings. I feel to share in this live. I'm so glad that you have a place now to do that. Consistency is great. Thank you. Thanks for noticing that that I'm being consistent. अरे अरे मिस वर्ल्ड बोल दिया सीधा. No, Tulip is not. Ryan. Hi Shreyansh.
Are you ready to deal with the discomfort of being misunderstood, rejected, or even attacked for protecting yourself? Are you ready to endure the silence that comes after the rupture? Because it is precisely in that silence that a new kind of power is born. And that is what we will talk about now. In the next part, you will
Guys, so the thing is that today I am extremely off my game thoda. So I might end this live stream thoda jaldi. I don't think I can pull it off for an hour. But I'm glad that everybody who showed up here was. I'm glad that you all showed up here. Thanks for watching my live stream, even though I didn't have much to say today. And I will come back tomorrow with much more energy and enthusiasm, because today I'm just a little off my game. So yeah, if you have something to share, you have my email ID. You can email me. We can talk about it. And please have a very nice rest of the day. Don't stress too much. Keep drinking water, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Wow, so many messages. Chalo, I'll see you all tomorrow.